Council chambers and all. Whoa, okay, that's better. Suddenly got the feedback there. And also folks that are joining us online. So with that, I will ask, does any member of the committee have a pecuniary interest with any of the matters before us today? I don't see any, so we'll move on from that. And adoption of the agenda, please. Moved by Ruth Ann, seconded by Jim Whalen. All those in favor? The agenda has been adopted. And I'm going to declare that we are going into statutory public hearing for the purpose of hearing one minor variance application here today. This public hearings provide an opportunity for residents to request relief from planning rules and regulations, and it's also an opportunity for members of the public to make comments on those requests for relief, either in support of or in opposition to. And we encourage everyone to express their comments and their opinions so we can make the best decision possible. However, recent changes to the Planning Act have eliminated the right of public appeals on Committee of Adjustment decisions. Per Section 45(12) of the Planning Act, only the applicant, public agencies, and specified persons may appeal committee decisions. And for those folks, the 20-day period for appeals applies to them from the day the decision is made. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our planner. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and good morning, committee members. So our first application and only application today is minor variance application A-20-25. The recommendation is that the Committee of Adjustment approve minor variance application A-20-25 to vary bylaw 2024-0043, which created the site-specific zone of shoreline residential 335 to permit a high water mark setback of 17 meters to the proposed dwelling, as this meets the 4 tests of the minor variance and is in keeping with the provincial planning statement. So a little bit of background on this application. In 2023, it was brought forward as a minor variance. That was prior to our housekeeping bylaw. So the tear down and rebuild had to go through a minor variance application. It was approved with a setback of 13.1 meters to the high water mark, which was an improvement over 10-ish meters from the high water mark from the existing. When the permit drawings were submitted, it was determined that the 1.5-story garage that was proposed was actually a 2-story garage, and the area for the bunkhouse use was over what's permitted in our zoning bylaw. So a zoning bylaw amendment was done in 2024, which is the bylaw that we are varying today. However, at that time, there was some confusion over the site plan, and a new high water mark setback of 19.67 meters was added in when that wasn't applied for in the application. It was on the site plan, it was discussed at council to the best of my knowledge, but there seems to be a little bit of confusion about how that got missed. So the intention today, and it's still a net benefit to the township because the cottage is still existing where it was in 2023, that we vary that bylaw to permit a 17-meter high water mark setback.
What is it?
17 meters.
Yeah.
So the property information, I'll just go over that quickly. It's 294 Maple Lane. Roll number 1536202020590. The owners are the Repaths. The agent is Rick Wanup, who is online with us today. It's zoned shoreline residential 335 with a seasonal residential official plan designation. Going over the 4 tests of the minor variance, this has been before all of you. This is the 3rd time now. It is minor, it is desirable and appropriate. It does meet the intent of the official plan, and it does meet the intent of our zoning bylaw. Had the 2nd-story garage not needed to be addressed, this is something that, apart from the side yard setback, that would have been permitted as of right through our housekeeping bylaw. I've reviewed the official or the provincial planning statement and compared this application to that and found that it meets the intent and the directives of the PPS. So in conclusion, this minor variance application meets the 4 tests of the minor variance and is consistent with the intent of the provincial planning statement, represents good planning, and I recommend that it be approved.
Okay, thank you, Laura. And now I'm gonna ask if the applicant or the applicant's representative would like to speak and add further information. Good morning, Rick, how are you?
Good morning, Madam Mayor, members of council. Sorry I'm not there. We got into some problems in the crops last night, so I had to stay back.
No worries.
Yes, unfortunately, what happened is when we went back to council to do the change from that definition of 1.5 to 2-story for the garage, I went in and saw Daryl Pegg and Emily, and I said, we want everything's identical, everything's the same. We're just changing the 1.5 to 2 on the thing. And I did the whole application again, brought in the hard copy of the site plan, which was at 12.9 or something. And then we did the complete application. Janet signed it and everything. And what happened is that somehow when I was leaving, Janet said, could I get a digital copy sent to her, which we've done lots of times, so it's easier to send to the different various committees and such. Anyways, somehow the architect sent by error the wrong site plan that was just done for a visual to show where the original setback was going to be when Crow Valley was demanding the 6-meter setback from the high water mark. And unfortunately, that one got sent by error when, in fact, the copy that I had and submitted in a hard copy was the correct one, as well as the application. Somehow planning missed the error, and I did. And normally they go back and forth from the application to the zone site plan very thoroughly. And this house somehow got missed. And it got missed by me at council. And anyways, so we're just trying to correct something that's been holding back the people. And unfortunately, it's been quite a merry-go-round. So I would appreciate council's support on this. And like I said, it was just a calamity of errors and lots of people involved in a big change. And yes, so anyways, that's my apologizing on this. And I'm really hoping council will see this. And after hopefully they pass this, I would like to speak one more little quick thing about it, which is hard for me to say something quick, right?
Okay, all right, well, thanks for that, Rick. I'm gonna ask if there's anybody here that would like to speak on this application. And there is, we have a hand in the audience there. It's Matt Oldham. Please go ahead, Matt.
Good morning. I just wanted to confirm something as well, that
Yep.
the hard copy that was dropped off with the application, the zoning bylaw amendment application also indicated the 19.67. So just for clarity,
Okay,
that it was a hard copy and a digital copy that were provided with that measurement,
okay,
but have no objection to the 17 meters.
okay, all right. Laura, can I ask, did anybody write in on this at all? Have we received any written submissions?
So only Crow Valley wrote in saying that they do not object.
Okay, that's good. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to committee members. Questions, comments? Jim?
I just had a quick question here for either Rick or Laura, whoever wants to answer it. On the sketch that we've got with the blue and the green, it looks like the original building, it was way closer to the water than the 17 meters. Is that correct?
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, that is correct. It was much, much closer. I believe it was about 7.96 to the deck and 10 point, gotta put my glasses
No,
on.
I can't read it either.
6 to the building.
Okay, so it's set back quite a bit from that.
Yes.
then.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my only question, Madam Chair.
Okay. Anything else?
Well,
Anybody wanna make
could
a
I
vote?
just
Oh,
speak to
yeah,
that?
absolutely.
And the other thing too is the cottage directly to the west of their property, they're at about 25 feet from the high water mark. So it is impactful. And this 17-meter gym that we've come back with was in working with Crow Valley to work with the new floodplain height, and which changed a lot of things. So, and Beth, she's fine with it at that. So that's where we arrived at the 17. Okay.
All right, anybody else? Ruth Ann?
I was just gonna say I'd be prepared to move the recommended motion.
Okay, all right, Ruth Ann's gonna move the recommendation. Oh, you want to second it? Okay, any other questions or comments on that? All those in favor? That is approved. All right, there you go. And did you say you wanted to ask something else, Rick?
Yes,
Before we
please.
go?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Keeping in the spirit of things, I just thought we could, well, everybody's happy now. So I was just, given what's gone on with this application and everything, and the last time was quite a bit of an error on both parties. And I just wonder, this is the third time we've gone through this with these poor people. Is there any chance the council could have some Christmas spirit and try to do something on the fee on this last application? Because this is the third one that they've had to do, and this one was definitely an error on lots of parties. I would say 70% and 30%. But I'm not saying who had the 70% error.
We got to guess. Okay, well, Rick, the committee can't, make that decision, but if the committee's okay with putting a motion for council to consider your request to amend the fees or adjust the fees, you didn't say anything specifically. We could do that, and then just, if council's okay, when we get into our council meeting shortly, we can add it onto our council agenda to address it later this morning.
That would be fantastic. And, I would waive anything.
Okay.
Rick, I've never thought of you as Santa Claus.
Well, times are tough, but I got to have a second job,
Okay, would committee consider a motion for council to look at his request regarding the fees for this application? You'll make that motion, Colin, seconded by Jim O'Shea, all in favor? Okay, so that'll go forward to our council meeting, and we'll amend the agenda when it comes up here shortly. Okay, Rick?
Thank you very much, and everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Rick. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm going to declare that we're out of statutory public hearing now, and we just need to adopt the minutes of the previous Committee of Adjustment meeting that was held on October 21st. Can I have a mover to adopt those? Moved by Jim Whalen, seconded by Jim O'Shea. All those in favor? Those minutes are adopted, and motion to adjourn from committee, please. Moved by Jim O'Shea, seconded by Ruth Ann. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back at council.